We are live. Welcome to another episode of American Dystopia, where we talk about all things that matter to the broke folks. How's everybody doing today? Everybody being corona crazy, or what's going on? So, like, share, subscribe.
Too many things at one time.
Too many things at one time.
Make sure you hit that like button.
Make sure you hit that like button. So we're going to be talking today with a special guest as soon as they get here. His name is Angelo Mendoza, and he and a group of the YangGang are trying to get in front of Congress. Mm-hmm. Which, as we know, these kind of things, they have to be put on the docket.
Congress isn't even there.
Congress isn't even there right now. No.
They're going to be on forever vacation.
For sure. So, Houston Duck asked a great question. Is everybody ready to run back to work and contribute to GDP?
I woke up this morning. I got excited about contributing to GDP.
Did you?
Yeah. I was so excited. I was like, yeah, I'm going to make a big contribution to GDP today.
You should totally put Angie's stump speech in just like a casual dialogue thing. I think that would be great.
Who still has the stump speech memorized?
How many people in the YangGang still have the stump speech memorized? I know I do. I don't know that I could ever forget it. I wonder if he's going to use the same stump speech in 2024.
Oh, he's got to change it up.
He's got to.
He's got to add Corona in there.
And I bet he will. Of course he will.
And even then, there still may not be gatherings of that size.
So we're going to have hopefully two special guests today. I know one is scheduled to be here already, and he's not here. His name is Angelo Mendoza, and him and his crew, including us, we are trying to get it set up and put on the docket of Congress to go and talk to them about universal basic income. And I guess the tactic and the strategy is to have average everyday people instead of, lawyers and, your average people who go in front of Congress and use all these big, pretty words. I guess the whole idea behind this is like a movement of the people, just to have some people go in front of Congress. What happened?
Can we change that? It just says Russell.
It just says Russell.
I don't know. Yeah. I was just saying.
So,
I'm Russell. This is Elisa. Yay! That is better.
All right. So
now you know my name.
What's on your radar? We're gonna do like The Hill. We're gonna be like a cheap knockoff version of The Hill.
I'll be Crystal, but I'll be the one that forgets her words all the time and messes up.
And I'll be Sager, but not as good looking and not as well spoken as Sager. That dude's on point.
Maybe not quite as well spoken.
Or well dressed. We are. Go ahead.
What?
So tell us, Elisa, what's on your radar?
What I've been thinking about is our new normal from coronavirus, obviously. What's going to be the new normal? Like right now, obviously, this is not normal. We're all stuck at home. Everything's closed down. Like it's just crazy town banana pants. But what happens when we all get back out there? When they open up the restaurants for dine-in, when there's sporting events and school in the fall, like what will be our new normal? You think it's all just going to go back to the way it was?
Man, we're Americans. Of course it's going to go back to the way it was.
Yeah.
We like our sports. We like our football. We like our MMA. We like, it's hard to be un-American, but I understand what you're saying because it's going to be quite a change, at least for. And this is something that I don't like to talk about because I know that they're going to push vaccines with this shit. And I am not an anti-vaxxer. So, but, don't think that because there are some vaccines that we need. But the problem is that they like to push these motherfucking things.
Motherforkins.
These motherforking things.
But what I want to talk about before you get into this vaccine talk is how
about
our new normal, we probably, you know, all of us in America and across the world are thinking, you know, eventually this coronavirus is going to be gone. Everything will literally be back to the way it was. And not just talking about the economy, because we know it's going to take a long time for the economy to recover. But I'm talking about just our entire way of life. And I'm talking about it as like a permanent thing. Like we discussed about getting rid of the handshake. You know, that's just one little thing. And instead doing a bow or something like that. Here, I got you a napkin. So, a fork? Okay.
So I don't know. I think the new normal is, you know, I think social distancing is going to remain in place for a long, long time. You know, I don't know that we'll ever go towards like you know, like a bow like they do, you know, over in some other countries. But I actually think that would probably be a good idea, is to institute the bow instead of the handshake. At least some kind of, you know.
And that's just a minor thing, but y'all have to think about what they're actually going to be doing. Probably when school starts back up in the fall, they may even do daily temperature checks to the kids coming to school. They may stagger the classes so that not everyone is going to school at the same time. And I know this sounds crazy, but it is probably the way they're going to have to do it. Sporting events may not come back for a year or two, and if they do, they may have to rework the whole seating arrangement. And I know I was just thinking about this, and I was like, well, this is America. This is what we do. There's no way we could be done with sporting events and concerts and all of that. But it could honestly be, in 30 years or so, a distant memory of something we used to do. You know, because coronavirus is here to stay. It just is, just like the flu. But as we know, coronavirus is not the flu. It's got a 50 times higher rate of death.
Yeah, but look,
it's different.
Oh, yeah, but you know, one of the control mechanisms that they use to control the population is the Colosseum, going all the way back to the Roman days.
They didn't have TV back then.
They didn't have TV back then. That's right. But those things are our distractions. Mm-hmm. You know, football and sporting events. But how many
sporting events do we go to, honestly? We're distracted.
As many as I can, to be honest with you. I love going to sporting events.
We're distracted by other things, like watching on TV or watching Netflix, or we may be even going back to drive-in theaters. Never again will we have a regular movie theater where people are packed together.
Bro! Dude, high five! Do you know that some of my best memories were from going to the drive-in theater? When I was little, my parents would say, oh my, it was so crazy. Because, man, you get like, they'd show like two movies in a row, right? So you pull in and you pull up to them things and you hook it on your window, a little speaker or whatever. And then they had this one little spot towards the center that was like the concession stand and where the bathrooms were, right? So you could go there, but people would bring their own foods anyway, you know, in the car. But like I remember, like one of the first movies I ever saw in the drive-in theater that I can remember was Children of the Corn. I was little, I was like peeking up over the back seat, and then I was peeking in between the seats. And I
can't believe your parents took you to see that. It was a different time. I do remember watching Nightmare on Elm Street as a younger child, and I don't know why our parents would even allow that. That's crazy, because I'm still scared of Nightmare on Elm Street. I will not watch that if I'm by myself. That movie is scary. Freddy Krueger, scary. No other movies scare me, but that's terrifying.
That's because Freddy could get he get you in your dreams, man. You couldn't, you know, you can only stay up for so long, you know, and eventually you got to go to sleep. So Freddy is going to be right there with you.
You can't fight him because you're asleep. Oh my gosh. Who agrees? Freddy Krueger, scariest horror villain of all time. Yes.
Boy, we got off track on that subject.
I know.
but yeah, Return at the Drive-In Theater. That's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, you talk about stuff that needs to return right now. My gosh, man. You know, when I was little, we had the milkman. There was a milkman that came around.
I wish we had a milkman.
Brought glass things of milk and orange juice. I'm showing my age. Lord have mercy. And this was in Ohio though, when I lived in Mogador. And like, anyway, yeah, we need a milkman right now because I do not want to go get milk. And
there are no, you know how Walmart has deliveries, a lot of grocery stores do deliveries now, and then you have those people, Instacart. Well, none of those deliver here. None of them. So we can't get any like cold groceries. We have to order, if we don't want to leave the house, which we're trying not to, we would have to order our groceries on Amazon. It's very limited in what you can get. If you don't use Amazon Pantry, everything is way overpriced, and then it takes 3 weeks to get here. So like if you need food now, you just better make it 3 weeks. It's crazy. So we got some powdered milk, and
you want to talk about disgusting? Powdered milk is disgusting.
Oh, you can't drink it. You can't.
Look, you know, Mama YangGang was talking about her one thing that it's hard for her to be without is coffee creamer.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's milk. I drink so much milk. I mean,
milk is for the bones, not the muscles. What are you doing?
I gotta have it, man. It does the body good. I wish it'd do my teeth some good, but it ain't done shit for my teeth.
That's part of getting older too, I've noticed. You know.
So we're supposed to have Angelo Mendoza on as a guest, as our first guest of the day. And for our second guest of the day, we have Joshua.
Joshua?
Yeah, Joshua Mazatta.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I pronounced his last name right.
What time's he going to be here?
And he will be on at 2:45.
Okay.
No, 2:35.
2:35.
2:35. He will be on. And he is a software developer, and he was inspired actually by Andrew Yang. So we're going to talk to him about that story. Oh, huge announcement.
Huge announcement.
Not this Monday, but Monday a week, the 27th. I think it's the 27th. We will be hopefully bringing you live an interview with Berman Supreme.
Yay!
Yay!
Who doesn't love Berman?
Well, we definitely love Berman Supreme. That man is definitely some kind of special. And if you don't know who Berman Supreme is, you got to get with it. So,
can we interview that person?
This person is actually Dr. Shiva. Okay, there's a lot of this just came on my radar yesterday, where one of our viewers, Robert
Coca-Cola, as he calls him all the time.
He asked us to look into Dr. Shiva. And there's a lot of controversy surrounding this cat.
Is there? I just read the brief synopsis of the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did your synopsis say?
That he is a doctor. I didn't read anything about any controversies. Okay,
so Dr. Shiva is running for Senate, apparently. He's a scientist, a biologist, inventor, entrepreneur, creating the future, truth, freedom, health, cytosolve, systems, health. Okay, so apparently this guy, right? Check this out.
Check it out.
He says that he created email.
Yeah, I did see that. I thought that was funny. The creator of email. Kind of like how Al Gore invented the internet. Is it like that? Or did he actually create email?
Well, he says that he did as, look, he said, anniversary of email, August 30th, when first U.S. copyright for email issued for my 1978 invention. When as a 14-year-old, I wrote 50,000 lines of code to replicate all features of the inter-office mail system that I named email. The system we use today.
So maybe he did invent email?
Now, apparently he's been challenged on that or something. I don't know.
Somebody said email already existed when he made a program for that. That's what somebody said.
So who knows? Like Robert just pointed out, it's controversy. There's always going to be some kind of controversy surrounding anybody. But what this dude's message is, I guess, is
what?
I don't know, something about
more research needed.
Yeah, more research needed. Definitely. I don't know, but there's a lot of controversy. That's all I know. I haven't gotten into.
Listen to what he said.
Okay, Robert Cola. My gosh, calm down, calm down. Why you gotta yell so much?
Yeah, we haven't listened to him speak.
There's only one person that's allowed to yell in here, and that's me. Hey, jeez. Look up the word ad hominem. Ad hominem. So we are supposed to. Anyway, we are supposed to have another guest on here shortly at 12:35. His name is Joshua Mazatta. I'm just kidding. That's not his name.
Ad hominem. Of an argument or reaction directed against a person rather than the position they are maintaining. Got it.
Mm-hmm. There we have it. So we're gonna do some more research on him because anybody that's pushing a message of freedom, that's what we want. We are all about freedom here. And if you have not checked out our interview with Adam Kokesh, definitely share that out.
Yeah, let me know if you know who Adam Kokesh is. Because I feel like everyone should know who he is. Why is it snowing so hard? Sorry, that was a random side note. Isn't it spring? Is it spring? Is this Carol Baskin's fault?
Carol Baskins? Oh my gosh.
Why is it snowing? I am not getting used to this. I need the south weather.
So did y'all see that tweet that I tweeted out about Elizabeth Warren? Because we were trending hashtag American heroes with Asian American heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tweeted out something about Elizabeth Warren being an Asian American hero, and then the GIF I put was a Native American.
Well, she probably tried to claim it. I have some Asian American.
I have
no
0.02% Asian American in me. Oh my gosh, that woman.
So who are your Asian American heroes, y'all? I choose, of course, the one that led me to all of my Asian American heroes would be Andrew Yang. And then Evelyn, she's a big hero of mine.
Lies in the sea. Your first Asian American hero was never Andrew Yang.
It was Jackie Chan.
It was Jackie Chan.
My first amazing. My first Asian American hero was Jackie Chan, and he is still one of my heroes. Aside from all the stuff and the controversy surrounding him, from the past few years, I don't even care. All I care about is his humor. He does his own stunts.
That was funny.
He had the best movies I've ever watched as a teenager. I mean, that guy is great. When I was little, I used to say, when I grow up, I want to be Jackie Chan. And that's seriously what I would say. Because I wanted to be in movies, do my own stunts, and do all that cool, awesome stuff that he does. I mean, come on. He's broken all 206 bones in his body. I mean, not that I want to break all my bones, but that's really awesome. I don't know. I tickled Russell, and he can't stop laughing. Sometimes I do that. I mean, I didn't tickle him. I made him giggle, which led to lots of laughter.
That shit was funny. Oh my gosh.
So yes, Jackie Chan was my first Asian American hero.
So I'm gonna get my shit together in a second, y'all. Give me a second.
And then Andrew Yang came along. I mean, I've had other Asian American heroes before Andrew Yang, but
one of my favorites, and somebody I tweeted about is High Tide. He is definitely one of my heroes. This dude sacrificed so much of his time to film Andrew Yang, this documentary that he's doing on Andrew Yang.
Yeah.
And that included, coming to our house and filming us. And
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
We had to wear microphones at all times. That was weird. You had to remember to turn it off before you go to the bathroom, stuff like that.
Yeah, it was crazy because we got to taste a little bit and experience what it was like to go through what Andrew goes through all the time.
Right?
A camera, you don't talk about constantly following you around, whether you're
we just had a small taste of it. Yep.
And it's quite the experience.
Mm-hmm. It's something everyone should experience at least once. Wearing a microphone and having someone follow you around with a camera. It's different.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. People look at you weird.
Yeah, for sure. But man, we got so many looks. We were at the mall, right? We were there. What were we doing there? We were yanging people, and we wanted to buy somebody's lunch. We have a little video clip of that actually, but I lost my words. Sorry.
So yeah,
we were at the mall. It was cool.
And yeah, we were out there yanging people. This was in New Hampshire, at the mall in New Hampshire, and yes, it's quite an experience. And yes, everybody should experience it at some time in their life. Just having people look at you. But you know what? Here's the great thing. You too can have that experience. You too can have that experience. All you have to do is have your spouse or someone you are friends with after this period of social distancing, have them follow you around with your cell phone and just talk to the camera. That's how we do it.
Yeah. Have somebody just follow you around with the camera at all times. It's interesting. Look, the snow is starting to stick. Look out the window.
Okay, they can't see out the window.
I was telling you.
It is snowing like crazy right now, y'all. Where did this snow come from? This is supposed to be springtime.
That's what I was saying. It's almost summertime. If you were in North Carolina right now, it'd be 80 degrees probably.
It's virtually winter here all year in Vermont. It's crazy.
I'm moving to Mexico. Florida.
You know that we were talking a while ago about Trump and hydrochloroquine, and I believe that it's going to be pushed out there as the miracle cure and everybody can go back to work type thing. So what do you think about all that?
I think that no, there is never going to be a magical cure-all for coronavirus, and hydrochloroquine can be very dangerous. So I don't know. I mean, I think it will be touted as a miracle and we will all go back to work, but it's not gonna be pretty. So it's not gonna be pretty. I feel like I can see the future right now. Remember when I was talking about the new normal? Well, it seems like we're constantly going to be doing this, because we're going to be opening things back up, having to shut it back down and do all that. And that's why the precautions need to be taken in our new normal. Temperature checks for everyone that walks into a restaurant before they sit down to eat. All the tables are at least 6 feet apart. Your server's wearing a mask. That will be our new normal. I don't know if I sound completely crazy, but I feel like I have a glimpse of the future, and this is what we're going to be doing. It's going to be different forever and always. I mean, it's not something we want to envision. We want to envision in a few months, everything's completely back to normal. We're rebuilding the economy. We're going to sporting events. We're, going to concerts. We're doing all these things that we used to do. But I don't think it's ever going to be the same. Mask might be an everyday thing that you see in multiple places. They need to start rebuilding or building more hospitals, more beds. And I know they talk about we don't need them right now, but they need to go ahead and have it ready because we can have more things open if we have more machines and PPE and hospitals and the beds in them.
They got your bed ready. You don't remember all them FEMA caskets? Yeah, do your research on the FEMA caskets.
But it's gonna be a different time. Definitely, we are living in history right now. I just don't know. It's never going away because it's gonna be seasonal. We're gonna have our second peak in the fall, but then it won't be gone once it sort of leaves in, you know? It's going to be a seasonal thing every year. And even with the vaccine, I mean, look how many people die from the flu every year. And some of them have the vaccine because the vaccine is not that effective. It's been proven every year that it's like, oh, well, this vaccine turns out it's not even effective. It's only effective in 10% of the people that get it. And then the flu keeps mutating. And it's just, it doesn't work. It might work for some. I understand that. But it's not. How many deaths a year do we have from the flu? Does anybody know that number off the top of their head? Because I don't.
Google does. Okay, Google. How many deaths do we have a year from the flu?
I found this on the web. I just wanted an answer, lady.
Like 29,000.
So let's say 29,000 deaths a year from the flu. Well, the flu is only what, 0.001% deadly? So I don't know. I'm just guessing right now because I don't have the fact right in front of me. But if you multiply that number by 50, what do you get?
Whatever number it is. I don't
Sorry.
know.
I don't have my math and my facts and my data all right in front of me right now. But it's still going to be a huge thing every year, even with this vaccine, because one, it's going to keep mutating. Two, this vaccine is being rushed along, and I don't even want to know the complications it's going to cause.
Oh my God.
Then,
fuck you, Bill Gates.
We don't know. We have no idea how long immunity is to coronavirus. Like if you have it and you get over it, how long are you immune? And that has a lot to do with the vaccine as well. You get the vaccine and you're only immune for a month, then what's the point? You have to get it every single month of your life? That seems a little scary and a little dangerous, but
I don't know, because like how can you not have, I don't know, sports kind of loses something, you know, when the crowd's not there. You know, that's kind of part of the appeal of.
I think what they'll do is they will have it blocked off where every person that's sitting there, unless they like come together, right? Every person that's there, they're at least 6 feet apart.
There ain't no way.
They're going to have to. That's the thing. If they ever want to. So our new future with everything like this, we're still taking social distancing precautions and everything. Every season we can maybe expect on the low side because we still do have to get back out there. Like right now, they're projecting the deaths to be around what, 60,000 from this? This period? Wait, let me finish my thought here. But if we're out and about, but we're taking some precautions like social distancing, but we're not staying at home anymore, we can expect maybe 1 million deaths a year at the low end for every season that we get it. So that's a pretty big number for every single year. I don't know why you're looking at me like that.
It's a horrible.
And that's even with the new normal. It's a crazy thing to think about.
That is horrible to think about, actually. So what do you do? I mean, that's just it, you know, and this is one of the reasons that we wanted to rebrand Grassroots YangGang into American Dystopia is because we wanted to talk about things that matter to the broke folk. And something that matters to the broke folk, man, that it's always going to be poor people that are hit the hardest by these things, you know, because
for sure,
you know, they talk about how, you know, all these frontline heroes out there, you know, who are necessary workers, and who, you know, the people in the grocery stores, how they're heroes, and you know what, they're paying these people $10 an hour.
Yeah, I did see someone that said they finally feel appreciated, that all their life they went to college and everything, and then they got a job in a grocery store, and then they became a manager, and like they're content to be there. That's what they want to do for a living, is actually manage this grocery store. They said that now finally people don't look down on him for working in a grocery store. That now people are like, good for you. You're one of our heroes.
Yeah, but the appreciation only goes so far.
Oh, I know. I was just making that.
Right, but my point is,
pay them more. UBI.
Not just pay them more, but man, I mean, something's got to get, because these people are out there and they are on the front line. Mm-hmm. All right, we got a guest. Our guest has arrived. We're going to say hi. Let's get over here to the advantage.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Whoa, that came out like a robot.
Whoa, Joshua, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, guys. Hey, guys. I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Doing good. Your microphone is messed up.
Unless it's us, but you sound like a robot right now.
Is this better?
Yes, much better.
All right.
Much
How you
better.
guys doing?
Doing good. So we have with us right now Joshua. Now, how do you pronounce your last name?
Mazzatta.
Mazatta. Okay, so I had it right there.
Yeah. Right on.
So tell us about yourself, bro.
So I'm from California. I'm out in Virginia right now for work. Right now I'm also studying Python software engineering, all thanks to the man Andrew Yang. You know, I used to listen to him talk in the town halls in Iowa when he was doing the bus rides, and I was like, you know what, he's got a point with the whole AI and the automation, and I was like, you know, I want to kind of be ahead of that curve of eventually there's not going to be that much jobs left, you know, they're going to be all automated away. So I decided to take it upon myself to kind of prepare myself for that. And I started taking courses online through Coursera at the moment, just kind of learning different languages. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of working, and I'm taking classes for software engineering. So kind of get myself prepared, you know, for hopefully something that I can be in a good job field for.
So where do you see artificial intelligence going?
Honestly, it can go anywhere, in my opinion. You know, I'm no expert on it, but I can see automation going into any career field. I really think that technology can advance to a point where just about any job can really be taken over by automation. I mean, straight off the top of my head, I see a lot of real estate. Real estate's a big one. Real estate can be easily turned into automation, but I mean, it's kind of a thing where it depends on the technology that we have at the moment, the job market. Our government's a big one, you know. I feel like our government's a huge step in the wrong direction because they're so behind the curve. It's kind of like a gerontocracy. I feel like our government should be more automated than it is right now. I don't know if you guys heard the story of when Yang was talking about some kid who was a like an intern for someone in Washington D.C. and his whole job was tasked for putting emails and files into certain folders, and he decided to code a program to do it, like for the computer to do it himself, and he ended up getting fired by who he was working for because it was too automated. And I feel like something simple as that can be automated, and it should be automated. There's no reason to. I mean, I know it creates jobs for people, of course, that's important. However, you can have a more efficient society and more efficient workforce if you have more things that are automated, and maybe things that can't be automated, you have more people in those fields. I don't know. Now I'm rambling here, but do you guys know what I'm trying to get at? Like, you know, like I feel like it definitely is something that you can kind of get towards. You know, automation's a huge thing. It's important, and I think Andrew Yang is definitely ahead of the curve on that. And just like with the trucks in Iowa, you know, all the truckers, you know, it can be definitely automated away easily.
And I feel like in today's day and age, with this whole coronavirus thing that's going on,
Yep,
it's going to be even more important to automate these jobs away.
Absolutely.
Because robots don't get viruses. But
Absolutely.
That's something interesting that you said that I had never really thought about before, was automating away Washington.
Great idea.
That's a great idea.
I'm a firm believer of automating Washington. Yeah, because if you take away the corruptness of the humanity of Washington, you're left with the facts, and that's what Yang's all about. You know, the facts, the statistics. I really think most of Washington, at least, should be automated away. It leaves a lot more room for people to have their voice rather than people to be shut down from people from the top. It takes away the power and puts them in the brains. You know what I mean? Something kind of like that.
Wow. So we were just talking before you came on about, what the new normal is going to be. And if you look at Japan, and I believe it's Japan, there's already a restaurant that's fully, it's run by robots and AI.
Mm-hmm.
So, we were talking about how, your server is going to have to come up to you in a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's going to be for now here in the United States. Yeah. But, what's beyond that? Beyond that lies where it's actually going to be start to finish robots.
Yeah. It'll be more efficient and it'll be safer for our health.
Yeah.
So I think it's the direction we need to go, then with UBI as well.
I don't know.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to add, like, how close is it though? How close is this point where we're coming to?
Well, see, that's the thing that's so hard to even answer. You know what I mean? Like, ask me last year, or tell my 2019 self, hey, in 2020, there's going to be a lot of shit going on, and you're also going to be quarantined because of a virus that's going to be global. And I would have been like, you are insane. We have preventative measures. We have things we can stop that. And I would have thought my future self would have been crazy. But I mean, here we are, we have people who are losing their jobs. We have unemployment skyrocketing for up to rates that we've never seen before. It's incredibly disheartening to see so many people lose this amount of jobs. I think we're at don't quote me on it, but I think we're at over 17 million people filing for unemployment, which is absolutely absurd. It's insane. So I mean, there's no way to tell what the right time to do it is. The best thing we can do is get ahead of the jump and actually put forth the measures into getting to the point where we need to be. Make UBI a reality. I am a huge advocate for UBI. I think automation and UBI can go hand in hand. I mean, an argument towards automation could be like, oh, well, what about the people who are going to lose their jobs? Okay, well, that's where UBI comes in. Maybe somebody they don't have the trade or the skill to actually get a job they need to, since there's so much automation, like in the future, But well, then they'll have UBI. They'll have something to fall back on if they need to. And I'm not saying UBI should be their primary source of income. However, they should. 22 million in the last 4 weeks. Yeah. See, thank you, Houston. Yeah, 22 million employees. That's an insane number, But I think, Andrew Yang's main argument for UBI was it's not going to be there. I mean, for some people, maybe it might be, their excuse to go shitbag and go not do anything. But I think for a large majority of people, it's going to be something that they can use for their communities, put back in the economy, use for their families, use in their local stores, local businesses, or even use creatively. I feel like when I have a really great thread on my Twitter, if you guys go read it afterwards, about why UBI is great for the human soul, really. But if you give somebody a universal basic income and then you tell them, okay, well, you should also work. Okay, well, they might go work as have a trade just because they have to, or they could use it creatively and then have like a platform that they created for themselves. And that not only makes them happier with what they do, but it makes them more involved in their community, their environment, their neighborhoods, or even large scale, like maybe cities or their country overall. UBI it takes off the shackles of financial security, or it gives you a little bit more financial security here and there, and it allows you to be more human rather than feeling like you're bound by the system, which I feel like a lot of people are nowadays, which is really sad.
It's funny that you say that because I believe, I'm one of these I'm a very spiritually oriented person.
Absolutely, me too.
And I feel like we are, at this stage of this evolution of human consciousness where we could just make this huge leap if we just wanted to. We're at this crux and this point where we could absolutely make the Star Trek future.
I agree.
But it's almost like the powers that be, they want the Mad Max future. You know?
Yeah.
And I feel like as human beings, our natural inclination is to create. That's what we do. We are creators.
Yeah.
So if you free somebody up, that's why people who are trapped in like these soul crushing jobs, right? Where they just got to get up and they got to go to work because they got to fucking make the bills, because they got to pay rent. And it's drudgery day after day after day. And it sucks the soul out of you. And you lose all hope. You lose all. So if you could take these people and take them out of those environments, which they are right now, right? Everybody's out of those environments for the time being, for the most part. And we're sitting at home, and now we're starting to create again. We're like, oh gosh, I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to go back to that soul crushing job.
Yeah.
You know, let me have. That's why it's so important. Talk about that creation. What do you think would happen if we just put universal basic income in everybody's hands?
Man, I feel like everywhere, every community across the country is going to be impacted in some way, whether it be something small, whether it be like more lemonade stands around the neighborhood, or, you know, just there's so much that can be made. Like, for example, on the side note, aside from UBI real quick, like people are getting, you know, stuck at home, being trapped, being more creative, like you said. But like a factor of that is people are now making their own masks. And they're also putting them on Etsy or putting them on Twitter and be like, hey, DM me if you want me to make your own mask. Like, that's just, it's creative. It's human nature. And you're absolutely right. I 100% agree with you. It's awesome. I feel like if UBI was implemented into our nation, or hopefully one day maybe globally, that'd be incredible. But I feel like if it were implemented into our country, I feel like people might invest it more into things that they're more passionate about, rather than, like you were saying, like more like a less of a drudging job, like less mind numbing. Maybe it could be music, or it could be their art, or it could be something creative online, or people could actually maybe fund themselves a laptop and learn to code, learn to software engineer, learn to do something that can help the automation and help something like help the world advance in that path. Because like you said, as humans, we're at this point where we could totally take off and totally get to a point in our future where everything is more, I guess, advanced, I guess you could say, for lack of better words. But I feel like people could easily work towards that idea if they had something like a universal basic income, because they can easily be able to invest in themselves. And I feel like investing in yourself is something that's not seen a lot nowadays, because investing it's, you know, the current workforce today, like you were saying, is very soul drudging, and it's very sad. You know, wake up, go to work, pay the bills, 9 to 5, feed the kids, you know, make sure the family's taken care of, all that whole thing. You know, it's great to make sure everything's taken care of, but not while you're hating doing it. And that's where a lot of people spike and getting depressed or get anxiety. And that's a whole nother issue. You know, there's a lot of mental illness now, and that's also not getting taken seriously necessarily. So I feel like if you have that cushion, that leverage, or that boundary between something you love doing and being able to invest in yourself, I really feel like you can actually get to that point of investing in yourself, moving towards a better future. And if you invest in yourself, you're going to succeed, right? So if you succeed, people around you are going to succeed. They're going to see you succeed, and they're going to want to succeed. They're going to want to invest in themselves, and they're going to want to see their neighbors and their friends and their family invest in themselves and move on to a better future. And I feel like we all need to come together and realize that, hey, if we all just kind of come together on this and realize who we are as people and as one another, we can invest in our future and ourselves and our friends and our family and actually move forward.
And that sounds utopian, and it sounds like exactly where we want to go,
Absolutely,
you know, as a society. But then I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about what you were talking about, Mama YangGang, with the whole, you know, this what's going to be the new normal. You know, we're going to have 1 million people a year die from this coronavirus. This is, you know,
if it becomes a yearly thing like the flu, which it's projected to do, and we don't know how long immunity lasts for it. So, but it's more deadly than the flu. So if it's like the flu and it's every year and you have this many people dying from the flu, then you'd have this many people dying from coronavirus, and just another reason to have more automation and to have it where people don't have to be around a lot of people at a time, which kind of sucks if you love concerts and going to sporting events and all of that, but they would have to find a way to make it where we're still 6 feet apart and wearing masks for who knows how long.
And that just it makes you wonder, like, you see all these movies with everybody wearing these futuristic masks and stuff, and you're like, holy shit, we're like right there at the doorstep. But if a company, if I'm a large, one of these huge companies, and in my head, I'm sitting here thinking, man, you know what? I got to get these nasty, filthy humans out of my, I got to automate my job away faster. I have to get these robot trucks on the road because we see, supply lines, may possibly break down. And thank God for all of our truckers out there right now.
Yeah.
It's like all the meat factories that have had to close down because the people got sick. They would have to automate away those factory jobs to stay open. They had to close the factory completely down.
Absolutely, because they're losing millions and millions of dollars. And so what they're thinking is, hey, you know what? If I'm going to be losing these millions and millions of dollars, I may as well throw those millions and millions of dollars towards automation, towards automating the jobs away. That way, the next time one of these pandemics happen, you ain't about to get in my business because my business is still going to be up and running because we got robots.
Or if this pandemic is lasting a lot longer.
So let's talk about that for a second. As if you're a one of these large business owners, talk about that future, because I'm not one of these people who hates artificial intelligence or robots. I actually love the idea of artificial intelligence and robots.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, save all my passwords, do everything for me. I don't care. Take that task away from me so that I don't have to do it. It's great. I love it. But there's going to come a point in time, where we have to embrace it, but we have to make it to where it benefits all of us. So how do we do that?
Well, I mean, I think it's great that we're talking about this because I'm very opinionated on this topic. Huge. I think, I mean, you're right. It's crazy because these corporations, whether they're evil or good, whatever, I think they are kind of blinded by how things have been going for so long. And they're like, okay, yeah, well, I'm just going to get my workers to keep working and whatever. But I think you have a very strong point, like if they're going to lose millions of money from people not being able to work legally, possibly in the future from the government and because of Corona, all that stuff, I think it's very smart to invest in automation and to put it into your company, because that way, yeah, okay, you're losing people and you can either become less productive, become less efficient because you're losing your workforce, or you can invest the money you're going to lose in the future into something you can actually become more efficient with. And I feel like if one company were to do that, or if somebody were to come out and push for that, like very vocally, I mean, Andrew Yang was doing it for us, and I'm very fucking grateful for him. But I feel like if more people took that approach to their corporations, other corporations would see the same thing and be like, okay, well, maybe they're doing the right thing. And that could also be like, I don't know, it's if we got the corporations to actually involve in automation or invest in automation and put it into their companies, then we could see a lot more effectiveness, efficiency, possibly even cheaper goods too, because you're not necessarily banking on that labor of the workforce so much. And I think if UBI were a factor, that could save a lot of people from losing those jobs. Like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with what Andrew Yang says about the truckers. You can't go ahead and teach a trucker how to code. They've been trucking. That's what they know. Maybe some can learn how to code, but maybe not all of them are going to be able to have the skills to actually sit down at a computer and be able to program everything. Yeah, that's true. And I mean, most of it's true. But if you were to have that workforce taken from one location or one specific workforce and move them to something else, yeah, you're going to have success and failure. But what about the failures? What about the people who can't keep up? What about the people who can't or aren't able to financially be able to be in that position, or don't have that security to actually move forward and invest in themselves? And that's where the UBI comes in. okay, well, you may have lost your job and that is unfortunate, but here, take this UBI, whatever it may be, take some government help, aside from the UBI as well, whatever it may be, and start working on your passion or your career, your future. Because unfortunately, due to Corona, you can't work, or unfortunately, your whole workforce because of Corona can't work. So have this support, have something to do, take this help from the government and move forward from that. And that's what I feel like people are missing. People are missing the point of, okay, yeah, shit sucks. However, we may bounce back from it, but not everybody's going to bounce back from it. And if we don't bounce back from it, we're definitely screwed. So either way, whether we come out of it or we're stuck in it for a long, long time, we're going to feel the effects, not just as a country, but also as people, communities, families. It's really, it's something that we need to actually take a look at and be like, okay, well, unfortunately, whether we come out of it or not, there are going to be people affected. And the whole thing about our government right now is that they're not being quick enough, because yeah, they're going to be affected, but also they're affected right now. Like Houston was saying in the comments, thank you for correcting me, by the way, Houston, 22 million people have filed for unemployment. Are we just going to wait until Corona's after to help them? That's going to be too late. We need people to have financial security and help from the government now. Is that answer your question? I kind of got sidetracked. I apologize.
It absolutely does. And,
Okay.
and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about those people. And, this channel is called American Dystopia because we want to talk about things that affect, people like us, what we refer to as the broke folks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something, like, I'm looking around at this coronavirus and how all these businesses are shut down, and there's a large number of those businesses that will never open again. That means every one of their employees' lives has now been affected. It's gone. It's gone forever. That business is not coming back.
Yep.
And it's it's like you said, you can't teach. It's hard to take any group of people and have large success taking them and putting them in an entirely different field than they're used to. You can't teach truckers to code. I mean, you can. Some will learn, some won't. But there's the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yep.
It's just hard as you get older. I'm 44 years old, and it's harder as you get older to be open to learning new things, because you're so used to doing certain things, and there's going to be a large number of those people who their only hope is going to be to do something that they love. That's going to be their only hope, because you're not going, it's so disheartening to me to walk into a gas station and see somebody that's supposed to be retired, and they're ringing up, my stuff. And it's just like, why are you not enjoying? Because we can't. We've been mistreated as a society for so long. What's to make us expect anything different? I look at Jeff Bezos. He's one of the richest people ever, and his warehouses are filled with robots. It's wall-to-wall robots. So what gives me any hope as a citizen of this country that things are going to change?
And yeah, that's one of the really sad things, is that there's not a lot of hope in a lot of people nowadays, because there's just the game is rigged from the start. You can do the best you can, and maybe you'll work your way out of it, maybe you won't. But there's a lot of people who are just sucked into the game, and they won't be able to actually succeed into like better. I don't know. It's kind of hard to put into words, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, I totally understand what you're saying. I walk into a gas station, I see somebody who's like maybe 60 years old, and they're ringing up like my Arizona tea. And just like, man, like that sucks. Like, you should be out, on retirement. You should be just enjoying your days. You should just, there shouldn't be a reason why you should be sitting behind this counter for 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to barely pay rent and get food, and it's really sad. And that's why UBI should not only be a thing, but it should also be bipartisan. It should be something between both parties that they can agree on. Because, I mean, like my man says, it's not left, it's not right, it's forward. We're trying to go forward, you know? And that's why UBI should definitely be bipartisan. It's not about a political scheme. It's not about politics. It's about the people who you are elected to represent. And if those people are dying, or if they're becoming addicts, if they're not being able to afford their food, if they're under certain circumstances, people are going to fall to some sort of pressure. Always. 10 out of 10. Whether it be something small or something large and detrimental, there's going to be something that people are going to get stressed out about and fall to. And it's very, very unfortunate that the people who we elect to represent us as people are turning that blind eye. And it's very sad, because there's no way we can actually push forward as a people and as a country. You know, we need to be able to actually look at each other and be like, okay, well, this is what needs to happen. It's not about Republican, Democrat, you know, center, middle. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about how can this person survive and this person survive. I don't care if this person's a Republican. I don't care if this person's a Democrat. I hope they can eat tonight. I hope they can feed their kids tonight. And that's what the whole forward movement's about. If we're just going to be stuck in this whole one position, we're stuck here. We're going to keep going. If you're not going forward, you're backwards. And I mean, on good terms, on the bright side, I think the $12,000, or not 12,000, that would be incredible. $1,200. I think the $1,200 stimulus is a step in the right direction. You know, I think it's definitely not enough, and it should not be means tested. I think it's absolutely absurd that it's being means tested right now. But I think it's a step in the right direction. I wish it could be easier. I wish it could just be straight up UBI, here you go. But unfortunately, our government doesn't work like that. And we definitely need some. That's a whole nother. I was about to get into a whole nother issue there, but I think the stimulus, the stimulus is definitely a step in the right direction, and we're possibly going to see better movement or better changes in the future, hopefully.
It is, but you know, there's a problem with the way that they're doing it, because you know, right now we're printing just trillions of dollars, and it shows you who they actually work for in Washington, and that's the corporations and big business. And we're seeing just the inept way that they're handling it. But you know, I'm trying to look at like the future ramifications of these trillions and trillions of dollars that we're just magically printing out of nothing. Well, that's going to have to be paid back, you know, and that's going to have to be paid back by workers in the workforce, taxes. My children are going to be paying off this thing that we're doing right now in government.
Yep.
But when there's a fire, you don't ask how much the water costs and where we're going to get the water. At this current moment, because of the pandemic, right now, they got to do what they got to do to get people UBI. But then, yes, focus on how to pay for it.
Yeah.
Look,
I understand.
You cannot quote an Andrew Yang tweet and then try to make yourself look.
Well, everybody knows Andrew Yang said it first.
Well, Joshua, it has been an absolute pleasure to speak with you today. We appreciate you coming, and we hope that you will come on again sometime.
I would love to. Thank you guys so much for having me. If you guys want to talk in the future, just let you know you guys have my DMs. It's been a pleasure being on. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Do you have any final words for the YangGang before you get out of here?
Any final words? I just want to say I love all YangGang, no matter who you are. I think you guys are awesome. I think even people outside of YangGang who are peering into YangGang and saying, oh, that's cool, I think you guys are awesome. I think everybody in Humanity Forward movement's really awesome. If you guys want to just, you know, support everybody on YangGang on Twitter, support Andrew Yang any way you can, I think that'd be really awesome in the right direction. So thank you guys, and thank all the YangGang, thank Humanity Forward, and I think everybody is just doing the greatest they can right now.
All right. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you being on.
Have a good one, guys. Take it easy.
There you have it, YangGang. Joshua is an awesome dude. He is an up-and-comer. I have a feeling that, it's going to take his generation and the younger generations that are coming up, man. They're going to have to save us all, really.
But then again, of course, we do what we can do.
Absolutely.
Like,
we
can't be our parents.
Right. Well,
take care.
What we're saying is we can't be past generation.
Yeah.
And I believe, especially starting with Gen X and even a lot of the boomer generation. A lot of the boomer generation realizes what's happened. Because they've gotten to a stage in their life and they're looking around and they're like, holy shit, what just happened? Man, we messed things up. And it's crazy, and it's going to take Generation X, and it's going to take us all, y'all. It's going to take us all.
I'm an elder millennial as well.
But Joshua is very refreshing to talk to because he has a unique perspective as a younger person, who sees the desperate need for something like a universal basic income.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you are just joining us,
we're about to talk about the coolest stuff ever. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. But if you're just joining us,
we appreciate it. And huge announcements. We are, we like doing this kind of format because we get to interview people live. And a week from Monday, 6:45, y'all better be here. Put it on your calendars. Mark it down.
Mark it down.
Firm and Supreme will be live on American Dystopia. Mm-hmm. That's going to be
formerly known as Grassroots YangGang.
Formerly known as the artist, formerly known as Grassroots YangGang.
We're always Grassroots YangGang. We just needed something that was more broad for everyone, because we didn't want to feel like we were excluding non-YangGang from learning the truth.
The joys of Russell's Ranch should go to everybody all the time.
They're not joyous. They're just, I don't know. I don't have words for that, but.
Trending hashtag American Heroes.
I thought that was yesterday. We're doing it today too?
Might as well.
Do it some more.
Add to it. And that is, of course, in reference to Asian American heroes. And there are a lot of them right now.
Like Jackie Chan.
The Amazing Asians. So,
if y'all didn't catch that earlier, that is my very first Asian American hero.
Listen,
Jackie Chan.
Y'all, if you were just joining us, she had me so tickled a while ago that I literally had to get up and walk away because I was laughing so hard. It was so funny. But it was funny to me. Anyway, talking about that, Andrew and Evelyn are definitely way up there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They are some awesome people. Like, they changed our lives without even meaning to, I guess, And then everything they're doing now and everything Evelyn did for women and other assault victims, coming out and telling everyone about it helped so many more women get the courage to also, tell their stories, because a lot of times stuff like that, they just keep it in.
Yeah. Johnny Depp gets the courage.
You cannot bring up Johnny Depp right now. We're being serious and talking about how it is a serious problem, and women, they need to feel brave enough to speak out about it. So,
but you know what? That's what frustrates me so bad about like Alyssa Milano.
Oh gosh, don't even get into Alyssa Milano.
She sits there and on her high horse, and because there was a sniff of an allegation that somebody in the Yang campaign may have done something inappropriate.
Someone that
so she cancels being on the whole thing that they had going.
Yeah.
And then she wants to turn around and support Joe Biden, who is under like some serious allegations. Serious allegations. Now you mean to tell me that you're gonna do that, but then you say you're gonna support Joe Biden?
And be like, I'm not YangGang anymore because somebody that works in some campaign office might have done something. That's just, I don't know. She kind of made me mad with that. And then the way she's like a hypocrite about it. Yeah, definitely.
You know, man, that whole situation is just crazy with her. Like I you know, it's disheartening for me because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be honest right now. I had a huge crush on Alyssa Milano when I was young.
Nobody cares. So,
and, jeez, how the mighty have fallen.
Has anybody heard? This is serious time. Has anybody heard of the recent rumors, or is it a rumor about Andrew's newest announcement to do with the YangGang and everything? Anything that
This is news to me. What are you talking about?
Has anybody heard any of that? I don't know. I've just been hearing whispers.
Of what?
It's not like a huge announcement like I'm gonna unsuspend or I'm running as an independent. It's not an announcement like that. I mean something to do with maybe Humanity Forward or with the YangGang. I know he was talking about doing like something with the YangGang for the YangGang virtually. I know he was talking about that, and I just wonder if this is part of that. Have you heard anything about this? Anyone?
I have not. This is news to me.
I have no details.
Wow. Yeah. Mama
Tell me more.
Elisa has her ear to the ground, and apparently she's hearing some rumblings about something or something.
I'm not trying to get everybody like super hyped up. I don't know what it is or what it's about. I've just been
Hectic Energy says there's supposed to be an announcement tomorrow, so Zach and Matt will have it up later this afternoon. So make sure
Zach and Matt will release it before it's news.
It will be released on their channel this afternoon. It will be announced tomorrow. So. And
he's joking, obviously. If you didn't know, we have a long-running joke about the Zach and Matt show because they're very quick at getting their stuff out. And we used to be the only channel that would upload Andrew Yang clips of when he was on CNN or NBC or anything. When he was on anything, we were the go-to guys, right? That would put that out there. And then Zach and Matt started doing that as well. But we had a little competition for a span of maybe 2 weeks of trying to get it out first the views.
They're better at the internet than we are.
It was friendly.
No joke. They are better at the internet than we are. They get that shit up quick.
It was friendly competition, but so then we stopped posting the news clips because they had it handled for the YangGang. So right. There was no need for us.
We'll find our own lane for sure.
But then we joked about how they'd have everything up like a day before it even aired because they were so quick at it. So that's the joke. Now you know.
And knowing it's half the battle. G.I. Joe. You didn't see that coming, did you?
For some reason reference? With oh sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just answering a question.
What question?
Serpent.
Serpent
you
says
click on it. I forgot.
How does Zach and Matt not get copyright strikes all over the place?
And it's because a lot of news clips and all news stations, they're considered like public. What's the word I'm looking for?
Public information.
Yeah, like you can use it and you won't get copyrighted. There are certain times where it does happen, but
you have to add to it. You have to most of the time. You can. There's little tricks that you can do with mirroring and all this other stuff.
Yeah, but that only works for certain things. Most news you can put up without having to do any tricks to it, and it won't get copyright claim.
Right.
Because they don't put out the claims for their stuff. I don't know why they don't. They just don't.
Because they want you spreading their disinformation everywhere. Mainstream media wants their disinformation spread. So
but it's Andrew Yang.
We are coming to a close, and we want to thank all of our Patreons and donors to this channel, because if it was not for y'all, we wouldn't have this channel. We wouldn't be able to bring you the news that matters to the broke folk vote.
Yep.
For sure. Because
and we would
honestly, YouTube doesn't pay a whole lot.
we would be screwed if it wasn't for y'all. So
we have at this moment in time 74 Patreons, and we are slightly over a Yang right now.
Or under.
Or slightly under a Yang.
And I wanted to say thank you to Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
I don't know if you want me to use your last name, so I'll just leave that out. But thank you for upping your patronage. We really appreciate that. That's really awesome. I think we're at, I will pull it up right now. I don't know if this is pre-taxes and fees or after, but it is short of a Yang right now. So we're almost at 1 freedom dividend. So that's awesome. Thank you.
That helps a lot, especially now. You know, it's very hard for content creators to keep going. You know, and a lot of content creators are struggling. So even if you don't support this channel, we appreciate you supporting any other YangGang channel that you can.
And your views here are super important. I mean, we'd be nothing without y'all.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're still like nothing, but like.
We love you, YangGang. See you on the next one. Yes, son.
I don't know how to end
I want you to type in the same thing you typed in because